For a while now, 3 has sold a 4G mobile Wi-Fi device, but now they have a 5G MiFi device as well, allowing you to get the full speeds from their network. In this video, we reviewed 3's 5G MiFi device, the ZTE U50, to see if it's any good, and we've also explained the setup process, so you can see what it's like to get started with. But before we begin, click the link in the description to the 5G MiFi page on the 3 website to see what deals they're offering on the ZTE U50 bundled with a data SIM card when you're watching this. And also in the description, click the link to the 3 network coverage map to make sure you get strong 5G signal at your address, ideally indoor and outdoor coverage, to ensure you'll get the best possible speeds from this 5G MiFi device. When you buy 3 5G mobile broadband, it comes in a small box with everything you need to get started. You'll get the MiFi device itself, a USB-C to USB-A charging cable, a 3 SIM card, the MiFi device's battery, and a product safety guide from ZTE. The MiFi device itself is about the same size, weight and shape as 3's old 4G MiFi devices, but it's slightly heavier, and it comes with TS9 external antenna ports, which is relatively rare for a MiFi device, but you don't need to use these if you don't want to. To get started, the first step is to insert the SIM card into the hotspot. The SIM card comes in this bigger plastic card that allows you to punch out a few different sizes of SIM card. For the ZTE U50, you want the nano SIM card, which is the smallest size available. So push out the smallest SIM card from the punch out card. Now you need to take the back cover off the MiFi device. There's a little groove in one of the corners you can pry up from. The back cover is held in place around the edges with a number of plastic clips, but the first time you do this, they are engaged pretty tightly, so you might need to use a lot of force to begin unclipping them, but be careful not to damage the cover. Once you get the first clip undone, the rest are relatively easy, and you can see inside the MiFi device. So if you turn the MiFi device so that you can read the text on the label, you'll see the SIM slot in the top left, and the SIM goes in with the cut corner facing the top left and the 3 logo face up. Below the SIM slot, there's a plastic flap which you want to put the SIM card on top of. Push the SIM card down into this flap and then slide it upwards into the SIM slot until it can't go any further. At this point, it's a good idea to take note of the Wi-Fi login details printed on the sticker under the SIM slot, because you won't be able to see them after the next step. Grab the battery and look for the 4 gold contact points in one of the corners. Then orient the battery so that these contact points are aligned with the 4 gold pins on the top right inside the MiFi device. Slide the battery upwards and into place, and once it goes up enough, it'll drop down and sit snugly in position. All you need to do at this point is reattach the back cover, which is just a case of lining it up and pressing around the edges until it's all clipped back into place. If the clips don't seem to be engaging, you might have the cover on the wrong way, so try rotate it 180 degrees. Now you're ready to turn the MiFi device on for the first time. Hold down the power button on the top of the device until the lights on the front turn on. If nothing happens, you might need to charge up your MiFi device, but ours came with full charge out of the box. The ZTE U50 will then set itself up, and when it's ready, the Wi-Fi light and signal light will both be turned on, and you can connect to Wi-Fi using the login details printed on the sticker under the battery. For a MiFi device, and especially compared to the other 4G MiFi device that 3 sells, the ZTE U50's download speeds are really impressive. We were able to get about 180 megabits per second with this MiFi device, which is quite good for mobile broadband. The upload speeds weren't quite as impressive, but is still plenty for most households. The issue a lot of 4G MiFi devices have is they don't have enough bandwidth to get online with multiple devices at the same time if you're doing data-intensive stuff like watching video. But with 3 5G MiFi, if you have good 5G signal, you should get pretty good speeds. So before buying, click the link in the description to the 3 network coverage map and put in your postcode to make sure you get good indoor and outdoor 5G coverage at your address or at anywhere else you plan on traveling with 5G MiFi to make sure you'll be getting the full speeds from this device. The speed test we just showed was at close range to the MiFi device, so you might be wondering, how good is its Wi-Fi signal, and what are its speeds like at longer range? The answer is, the Wi-Fi and download speeds are pretty impressive. We were able to get more than 50 megabits per second, even on the opposite side of the house to the MiFi device. We had no Wi-Fi dead spots or anything like that, inside a 4-bedroom house, which is pretty impressive for a MiFi device. But although our download speeds never dropped below 50 megabits per second inside the house, our upload speeds did tend to drop off a bit at long distance. This isn't a problem for most people, but unless you're right near the MiFi device, it's not the best for doing large uploads. In this case, something like the 3 5G hub or 5G outdoor hub will offer much faster uploads. We get about 15 megabits per second with the 5G hub, and closer to 50 with the 5G outdoor hub. These two solutions, in our opinion, are a better choice if you're looking for a permanent way to get online at home. It's just they're a lot less portable because they're bigger and they plug in to mains power rather than coming with a battery. Click the link in the description to the 3 home broadband coverage checker to see if you can get their 5G hub products at the moment and to compare their prices to 3 5G MiFi. ZTE advertises 8 hours of battery life with this MiFi device, and from our testing, that's pretty accurate. We could easily get a full day of usage out of it, online on a single device, for about 8 to 9 hours or so, on standby, with no devices on the hotspot. The battery really doesn't drain at all. It'll last for about 2 weeks. It's just connecting to 5G and transmitting internet data that really drains the battery. You can use the MiFi device while plugged in. There's no problems with doing this, but the battery will begin to degrade over time if you do this enough. And it's also worth mentioning, recharging is really fast because this MiFi device uses USB-C, but if you can, it's best to use a proper USB-C charger, like the charger you use with your phone, or a USB-C to USB-C cable, instead of the supplied USB-C to USB-A cable, to get the fastest possible recharging speeds. The included cable works, and it's more compatible with older computers, but you can recharge this device a lot more quickly using full USB-C. So currently, there are 2 different plans you can buy the 3 5G MiFi device on. There's a 24-month contract and a 1-month plan, both with unlimited data. The 24-month deal is pretty good value for money at the moment, but the short-term deal has a really high upfront cost at the moment. This is because 5G MiFi devices are very expensive, so if you get a short-term contract, 3 needs to make up the cost. But when you compare the prices to the 3 5G hub, 3 5G MiFi doesn't look as good value for money. With this 5G router, even though it still comes with a SIM card, with unlimited data, the 24-month plan is a lot less expensive, and the 1-month plan has no upfront fee and a lower monthly cost. Not to mention, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee on this device, allowing you to set it up and see what the speeds are like before you commit to the length of the contract. So if you don't mind having a less portable solution, click the link in the description to the 5G hub coverage checker to see if you can get these deals at your address. And if we compare 3 5G MiFi to Vodafone's 5G MiFi deals, you can see they have more different data plans to choose from, including 12-month options, but the unlimited data deals are more expensive, including on a 30-day contract. The data limits on the data limited plans are quite restrictive. It's not 100 gigabytes of monthly data, for example, and you only get the fastest available speeds if you choose the unlimited data plans. So really, 3 offers the best value 5G MiFi on the market at the moment, but if you don't need a portable hotspot with a battery, their 5G hub router offers much better value for money. If you're looking for a fast, portable way of getting online, 3 5G MiFi is definitely worth looking at. It offers fast download speeds and good Wi-Fi performance for a pretty reasonable monthly cost, on the long-term contract at least. It's also easy to set up and also has good battery life from our testing. So make sure to click the link in the description to the 3 5G MiFi page to see what deals they're offering on this device when you're watching this. And we think the 3 5G hub page, which we've also linked in the description, is also worth checking out if you don't mind having a router you plug in instead of something with a battery. You can search our channel to learn more about the 3 5G hub and its differences with 3 MiFi. And if you have any questions about the 3 5G MiFi device, leave a comment below and we'll get back to you as soon as we can.